Hello YouTube, Dave here again. So it's January and I thought I would do sort of a January sort of pickup video and a little bit of an update just where it's the start of a new year, and just picked up some things that I didn't really get a chance to talk about yet or really show off, so I kind of want to do that now. And a show off's not really the right term because, you know, I don't consider myself to be, you know, that kind of person. These are things that I just, you know, picked up because I had the little bit of extra money. I had some YouTube money come in. And I actually got to check off a couple of things from my list of books that I've been looking to purchase for quite some time now. So before I get to those, I'm just going to start off with another Starfinder product here. And so what this is one of the adventure books for the Dead Suns Adventure Path, which is the first adventure path for the Starfinder role-playing game. I want to get all 6 chapters. This is chapter 2. This is part 2 of 6, and this is the Temple of the 12. I've got book number 1 ordered through one of my local game stores, so I'm hoping to be able to pick that up very soon. I was hoping to get it on the day that I'm recording this, but unfortunately it didn't seem to come in. So I'm just gonna keep my eye open. Wow, words are hard. Keep my eye open for that. But I have the second one here, and like I said, I want to get all 6. I don't know if I'm going to collect, you know, more than probably just this first adventure path, but we'll see how it goes. And at some point, I would like to be able to run it. So I'm really looking forward to it. And again, just waiting to get the first one. The third book is also out. I don't have that one yet. As soon as I pick up book number 1, though, I'll be on the lookout for book number 3. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to set that there. Up next, I picked up the Explorers of Ixalan Magic the Gathering game. And I wasn't going to get this initially, but I actually had a chance over the holiday break to play a game of this with a couple of friends. And I actually liked it quite a bit. Now, I did record an unboxing video, but it didn't go very well, and I honestly wasn't happy with the way that it turned out. So I'm just going to do a review for it very soon, in the very near future, like show how to set it up, explain how to play the game, but we'll just open it up here just for a second, just to show it off really quickly. So here is the rule set. Not a lot of rules for it because you still play essentially a Magic the Gathering game. There's just other options that you can do. I'm not going to get into it a whole bunch now, but this is sort of what it looks like. You kind of set the board up like this, and you pay these numbers in mana to pull one of these tiles off, and you get some sort of benefit from it. And it just shows examples here. So there are events which happen immediately, quests which happen when you trigger them. So for example, this one here says the next time an opponent leaves the game, draw 2 cards and create 4 treasure tokens. And then you have sites which are permanent, but someone can conquer them, so someone can take them away from you. It comes with 4 decks of cards, 4 60-card decks, which is pretty cool, a bunch of tokens. The decks are what we got here, the Sun Empire, and I do have these all sleeved up and ready to go. So the Sun Empire is a dinosaur deck. Then you've got Brazen Company, which is the pirate themed deck. And you got Legion of Dusk, which is like black-white vampires. As well as, there we go, River Heralds, which is another Merfolk deck. So between the dual decks, the Planeswalker decks for Ixalan itself, and this product, I now have 3 different Merfolk decks. So I think I'm pretty well covered there. It comes with a bunch of +1/+1 counters as well, and like the deck list on the back. So like I said, I'll do a full video on that, but I just, you know, thought I'd show it off there, because it is actually a pretty fun game, and it does have some reprints of cards that I've always wanted to own, but just haven't been able to because they're older, or they were in like the reprint sets that are $15 for a booster pack where I live. So they have things like Path to Exile and Rancor, which is really cool. They have, I think it's Time Vault, which gives you an extra turn, so some really cool cards in there. So that's one of the things that I picked up as well. The next 2 things that I want to show off are books that I wanted to get for a little while now, And for me, it's kind of started when I was doing my Goblin test videos, and I made a second edition AD&D character, and I really kind of feel like I just don't own enough second edition AD&D stuff. It's the version of the game that I first started playing, but I don't own a lot for it. I've got the 3 core books: Player's Handbook, Dungeon Master Guide, and Monstrous Manual. And I have like the Monstrous Manual binder that they had put out, or Monstrous Compendium. I can't remember which of the two that they called it off the top of my head. And I've got a couple of like Forgotten Realms books, Faiths and Avatars, Powers and Pantheons. I have those, and I've got a couple of box sets, but I just still feel like I was sort of lacking. A while back, in fact in the last pickup video, I had shown off that I got the Player's Options Skills and Power book. So in addition, so there were 2 other Player's Option books that came out, and I managed to get them both. So let's just move this sort of out of the way. We'll move this out of the way. So the first of the 3 books to come out was actually the Player's Option Combat and Tactics. Now I'm going to hopefully at some point in the near future do a video on the Player's Options series of books. This one here, this was I think around $15 as well. The only downside to this book is, and I don't know if I can find any of it real handy, but there are a few spots where the person that previously owned this book, had done some marking of stuff in there, including doing some check marks in pen, which kind of sucks, but at the same time, I can probably gently erase the penciled in stuff and go from there. But still, other than that, these came in pretty good condition, considering that they were back in 1995, so these are like 23 years old now, which is kind of crazy to think of. And this is even back before Wizards of the Coast, so this was like TSR, like Dungeons and Dragons. So I picked up the Player's Option Combat and Tactics, and I also picked up the Player's Options Spells and Magic. Now, the Player's Option Combat and Tactics and Skills and Powers were both around $15 or $16. This one was $25, and for me, that's the absolute maximum I would consider paying for some of these older books. I don't want to spend a lot of money on previous edition stuff, and that's why I don't want to go back and collect some of the box set and things like that, because as much as I would love to have them, like Planescape or the Forgotten Realms box sets, they're going to be ridiculously expensive. So this was $25. This is the absolute sort of highest amount that I would spend, but I now have all 3 of the Player's Options books. The only thing that I'm really missing from the Options series would be the Dungeon Master's Option High-Level Handbook. And I can tell you right now, I want nothing to do with the High-Level Handbook. I really wouldn't run 2nd edition. I certainly wouldn't want to run it all the way to 20th because of how much experience it takes to get there. So I'd probably have stuff within like the levels 5 through 10 range. So I don't need the high-level option book. If I can find it at a good price, I'll definitely pick it up. But I got these, and I consider them to be decent prices, and I now have all 3 of the Player's Options books, which is really cool. So at some point, I want to do a video review on the Player's Options stuff, and I'd even love to try to make a character using the Player's Options skills and powers, spells and magic, and all that stuff. So, in addition to those, I've also was able to receive an early copy of the Dungeon Tiles Reincarnated City set. And I recorded my opening and review and comparing it to the 2010 version. So that video is going to be available in the very near future. It is recorded, but for anybody that's supporting me on Patreon, I didn't use Patreon funds to purchase this. I was able to use some Christmas money as well as YouTube money, but I still will have my opening of this as a Patreon early access video. So they're going to have the ability to watch this for 3 days before I make it available. So today is currently Thursday, January the 11th when I'm recording this video. So the 12th would be Friday, 13th, 14th would be Sunday. So on January 15th, the video will be made available to any and all viewers, but if you're following me on Patreon as a Patreon exclusive, you'll get early access to this for a few days. So anyway, those are just the things that I picked up, and let me know in the comments below if you guys have any of these things, like the Player's Options books, if there's anything that you can really tell me about them. If you've played through the Starfinder campaign stuff so far, the Dead Sun's Adventure Path, let me know if you're liking it, and if you've played Explorers of Ixalan, let me know what you guys think of that as well. And again, if you're on my Patreon, then you have the ability to watch my Dungeon Tiles Reincarnated video a few days early, and for people watching this, just my regular subscribers, on January 15th you will be able to see the Dungeon Tiles video as well. So anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.